Hello, and welcome back to the Honda Shadow files. So, this Shadow, I got it in November, October last year, somewhere there. Last winter. It's a winter project. It's an 84 Shadow 700. I fixed it up through the winter. It was in pretty rough shape just because it sat from 2008 until 2022. So the vacuum lines, the seat, anything rubber, the tires, pretty much gone. The tanks were, it was parked with fuel in it, so that was all, the tanks were pretty bad. I had to take it all out, clean it. I actually used a trick of putting bolts and washers in there and cleaning it out really good. Some acid, all kinds of stuff, coated the tanks, all the stuff you do for something to set that long, any vacuum lines. LED headlight, which, especially 80s motorcycles, all of them, not just Honda, have trouble with the charging systems. It's just, they're not real robust unless you get something, even they have like a Goldwing or, a big Harley, something like that. But your smaller ones like this, Naked bikes, they just were not really known for robust charging systems. They had rectifier problems, stator problems, all that stuff. So I just wanted something to drive back and forth to work. Maybe take a weekend trip with my daughter. Just ride around for an hour or two. I'm not looking for something to take to Michigan and drive around Lake Michigan or anything like that. Just a daily driver, and I've always liked how 80s Hondas in particular ride as far as affordable, cheaper bikes. I've had a Magna, I've had a Interceptor. I mean, they're pretty nice. And until you ride one, it's hard to describe. They're just balanced, smooth for the year, for what they are. They're really smooth. They handle decent. The pegs are high, so you can lean them a little bit. They got wide back tires for the time. Small front tires, which made them, turn into corners pretty easy. I've always liked them. I've ridden crotch rockets. I like those too. I have zero experience on giant land yacht bikes, so I would like to try one. Just see what it's like a big Harley, or a Goldwing, or an Indian. I like the Indians, man. They're sharp. Man, they're sharp. I'm not too much of a Goldwing fan as far as how they look, but I've heard they just ride like a train. And it's gonna be reliable as a Honda. But a little bit about the Shadow. So, came out in '83, 750, and then in '84 the tariff started. So that's why mine's a 700. Most you find for sale will be 700s, whether it's a Magna. The V45 they called it, the Magna and the Interceptor. They did make V65s, but you had to pay the tariff, and they were slightly more expensive. But the Shadow was really made to compete with like a Sportster, the metric cruiser bike craze they called it. They sold like hotcakes. I mean, the Honda and the Kawasaki and Suzuki's, they just flew off the showroom floor. They had Japanese reliability and the looks of an American cruiser. On this bike in particular, what Honda did, they went a step above and beyond for long-term reliability. That's why there's still so many Shadows around. So it's got shaft drive, so there's no chain sprocket, there's not a belt, it's just almost no maintenance. You change the oil every 5,000 to 10,000 miles in the diff, that's it. It's got hydraulic lifters like a car, so there's no need to take it and get the overhead set like every other motorcycle with solid lifters, including crotch rockets. So you don't have that maintenance to worry about. It has very simple carburation on it, just very straightforward. They are vacuum Venturi pipes. I'm not crazy about that. I wish it was a cable, just for the drivability, especially in cold weather. especially with ethanol fuel. This is even more temperamental as far as cold blade, but that, I wish that was cable, but it's factory. Not a big deal, but it's so simple, so reliable. That's why these things are still around. It has solid state ignition, which most of your Japanese bikes, that's not just a shadow thing. The rest are all just shadow things back there. But solid state electronics, where Harley points, it has a radiator, it has liquid cooling, it has overhead cam, it's a 3-valve head. Very modern, very ahead of its time for 1983. And I kind of think it sounds kind of like the future if you were alive in 1983. When it idles, it's got a, not quite Harley, because it don't have that extra fire. You know, I don't know if you know it, but Harley, to save time, money, and simplicity, they fire on power and intake, I believe. Power and anyways, it fires. It's probably what fires all the time, and their cylinders are in line, they're not offset. So that pop that you hear is literally a backfire through the exhaust. It's actually backfiring. It's got that extra spit. That's what gives it that. It's actually firing every time this comes up. We're opposed to, every other engine on the planet. They don't share a crank pin, so Harley share a crankshaft journal. Every other engine has V-twin 4 or 2, doesn't matter, have a journal on the crank. And they only fire on power stroke. So Shadow kind of sounds like a pulling down Harley idle, but yet, when you get above 5,500, 5,000, it's got its own sound. It doesn't sound like anything else I've heard. It's different, it's unique. This is 3-valve. It's a 2 into 1 into 2 exhaust from the factory on mine, like the 84. Third is acting like exhaust to make it dual exhaust. It's true rules. I think you probably lose some scavenging. There isn't much left on aftermarket for that, but man, X-Pipe would be cool, even if to build one, because you want scavenging. That helps. But these videos here, just ones that I've taken. I always like to have the camera on, just in case someone causes a wreck. I'll have proof that they caused the wreck. I'm not looking to wreck. I don't want to wreck. I want a bike there in a car. I'm going to lose that gross tonnage all the time. Also, you can see I pretty much practice safe riding habits. The following distance, line of sight. I'm always looking around, and it doesn't make for the best videos. Camera's on my head. I mean, I look intersections, kind of use caution. Slow look, press or roll the corners. Always have good visibility. Don't stop right behind a car to stoplight so you don't get crushed if the car behind you doesn't stop. Stuff like that. I thought I got some good video on the back roads the other day, but it did not work. The camera didn't save, the file was corrupted, whatever. Just, it didn't save, whatever happened. I'll get that again. I wanted like an hour ride or something like that on last Saturday's. Very nice. Before work. So it's nice. There's no one on the road because it's Saturday and it's early morning. And it's too early in the season for deer to be out. So yeah, I think about that. Living in the middle of Illinois, so deer is a thing. So you gotta be mindful of that. Spring and fall, especially the fall. Right. I'll get there's some pictures in my other video of the bike, and I'm not gonna do much more to it. I mean, it's got new tires, it's painted, maybe forks and exhaust and shocks in the back. That's it. After all, they are from 1984, so I don't know that I want to ride much longer on the old suspension. So just for safety, I would like to find something newer. I need to find some forks that fit. Like, I'd like to find some forks that are newer that fit, whether that's a Sportster. I know, I forget the millimeters. It's very common. Like when I got my seals for the forks, it said it fit, you know, what FX or whatever the crap Harley and Honda and Kawasaki did. Like it's a common size. Like even if the bottom of mine are fine, it's the chrome's kind of not in the greatest shape. The set barn. So if I can get the top part, that'd be cool. And shocks, I think it's a common size for shock. I think I get. I went and looked at my new Shadow while I was picking up my seals the other day, and I mean the back shocks don't look that much different than the ones I have. So I don't know if the bolts are the same diameter, but man, it looks like they'll bolt right up. The Shadow don't look that much different, other than they lowered the foot pegs. Put many floorboards on it and stretch the rake out. And other than that, I think the frame is pretty much the same. It looks really close. The radiator looks like it bolt right off mine onto it. They got a 750 in it. My local Honda dealer. I was getting parts the other day. And oil. Yeah, I got lucky with this one. So enjoy the smoky videos. This is filmed during the Great Canadian Wildfires that came down here and really reduced visibility. As a matter of fact, that the last part of this video, the camera isn't failing. It's literally the ash and dew kind of mixing. I had it on my visor too, and kind of blocking the stupid camera. It's not raining. I wasn't riding in the rain. That's just it's so humid right now, and the smoke was like sticking to the camera lens and the visor. I just took my glove and wiped the visor and forgot all about the camera. So I got a new mic, so hopefully the sound will be better. The wind is atrocious, and the mic came with this NoPro, knockoff GoPro. Not a NoPro. I got a new mic, but I had to get an adapter, so hopefully the adapter will be here tomorrow or Monday. Try the new mic. I did get a new sock for the old one just today, so maybe the sock will help. The one that came with that, a really thin sock, so I don't know. I'll try that. And it's weird because the first video I did, you could hear me, and you can't hear me at all talking on the bike, so I like to get some vlogs going. While I'm riding, talk to myself. Right now I just listen to classic rock in my helmet. Chill. There's nothing wrong with that. So, I forgot how much I missed it. I hadn't had a bike in a while. Man, it's nice having a bike again. So I look forward to it. So enjoying the video.